actually, the train was derailed, I think.
Wow, wow.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You can just basically.
yeah, that's beautiful. Thanks, Railroad. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video, we are back on Rails Unlimited, and we are joined by Railroadpreserver today, and we are checking out some new locomotives and some updated locomotives. So yeah guys, let's get into the video. And here comes Railroadpreserver now in the new Eastern Local, or relatively new. And there it goes. Alright, so the first locomotive we are checking out is the Eastern Local, the same one that Railroadpreserver is using, and it originally was spoofing the Crazy 8 train, the CSX Runaway, that actually inspired Unstoppable. And, yeah, so why don't you tell us a little about this exact locomotive, Railroad?
So the locomotive powering the Eastern Local is a General Electric Universal Series U18B type diesel locomotive, which was one of a line of locomotives built by GE from the 70s until about the mid-80s, when they went on to start building the Dash 8 and not later 9 series diesels. This locomotive was in use by a lot of the former railroads that were around before CSX, and were last used by CSX in the early 2000s, which was when they were retired. Some were still in revenue service, but a lot of them, as you'll see later in this video, were used for maintenance of way use and painted a vibrant orange. Some units were preserved, most were sold to short lines, where some still operate, but a vast majority are scrapped. But there's a short line in South Carolina that uses them, there's a museum in Tennessee that has one, and there was a short line in Kentucky that had an entire roster of Universal Series diesels, with all types of models, but unfortunately it closed due to declining coal traffic, so, well, that caused a lot of them to be sold.
Alright, so thank you for the explanation, Railroad, but it is time for this locomotive to die, so when we come to the next switch, well, you'll know what happens, because we do it every single time we make one of these videos.
I don't even know what switch I don't even know where you're at, sir.
I'm going into restricted space right now, restricted rail space.
Oh boy, you're going, okay everybody, Jesse's going to rail 51, that's totally not unusual at all.
Yep, and I just realized that I made a big mistake, because now I'm just gonna go in a loop-de-loop.
You're on a giant train set, boy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You know what we need to try and do? We need to try and send a train off the docks.
The one thing that I have noticed is that their newer locomotives are definitely getting longer, which I really do like because they're more realistic.
Well, of course, I mean, if you're able to get the general characteristics of the U18 model, you'll be able to find its weight, its length, its horsepower ratio, everything.
Alright, here we go, and derail, and wow, okay. The engine and the rear boxcar just turned into a triangle, so that was pretty interesting. Alright, so the second locomotive we are checking out today is the Ballast Maintainer, and this is essentially the exact same engine as the one before, the U-boat, and it is under the same line, CSX, and I know that you were talking about how they use some of these locomotives as maintenance of way trains.
Basically what this entails is the maintenance of way is any kind of maintenance being needed to be done of the right-of-way, meaning the ballast train falls under the maintenance of way category. What they do with it is they open the doors on the bottom of the hoppers there, and they let the train continue moving down the track at a slow enough speed to where it spreads the ballast out along the right-of-way for them. And it makes it so they don't, so they don't have to go back with shovels and spread it by hand. And plus, if they stopped, well, then you got a pile of ballast, potentially able to derail your train, which is not going to be good. So, yeah. Also, the train I'm leaving out in currently has the locomotive that replaced the U-boats. One of the early Dash 8 locomotives. A C40 Dash 8 is its proper designation.
So yeah, I'm actually driving or conducting this locomotive using the driver view now, which should be pretty cool. It's a unique view that I've rarely ever used in videos, and I'm just going to be trailing behind you, alright?
That's what the camp. You're in what's known as the engineer's point of view type angle. That's the guy. That's the name of the person who drives the train. Is the engineer. The conductor is the one who fills out all the paperwork and works the radio if need be. There's a short line railroad in South Carolina that still uses those U-18Bs in the orange maintenance of way paint scheme. It's called the Pickens Railroad, and it runs in Pickens, South Carolina. And also up in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, they have a U-18B in maintenance of way orange. But instead of having the word maintenance of way under the cap, it's maintenance of W-A-D-E, maintenance of Wade, which is the name of one of the museum volunteers. Apparently that's a meme or something, I don't know, but either way, I found it funny. Why am I stopped? I think I'm derailed, Jesse.
Yeah, because you've been going awfully slow. Hold on, I'm gonna jump out of my train here and take a look at what's going on with you. I don't have a flashlight, but
By the way, this is called, what you're doing to look at the train as it's passing is called a roll-by inspection. What they do is they have one of the train crew stand beside the train as it passes at walking speed, and they inspect it to see if there's anything wrong, whether it be bad wheels, messed up air hoses, stuff like that.
yeah, so far everything looks good on your locomotive. I don't know why you're going so. Are you going at full power?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Problem with these GEs though, they had a rather annoying habit of developing mechanical problems.
Well, as we can see there, it really did follow like real life. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the maintenance of way train and derail that thing. Well, here we are in the maintenance of way locomotive. We are speeding down the track at 70 miles an hour. And as you can see, Railroad is just struggling to catch up. And there he goes. Oh, there we go!
Well, ballast just went bloody everywhere, sir. Congratulations. Alright, this is the head manager for CSX. You are now fired because you have caused us to lose about 40 or 50 tons of ballast, and you've blocked an entire right-of-way, sir. Yeah, get out of here!
Alright, here is the Halloween train for 2020, the Necropolis Flyer, and it's clearly taking some inspiration off the original Halloween train, the Pumpkin Pie Transport with those cars there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get a move on here. Now this is what the horn sounds like in the locomotive. So there we go.
I think that's a horn that's normally used on a few of the more modern locomotives. By the way, did you notice you have refrigerated cars on the back? The box cars have refrigeration units on them.
Yes, and that is why it reminds me of the original Halloween train from 2016, I believe it was, or 2018, I can't remember now, but the original
2017.
Oh, yeah, that's right, 2017. Those had refrigerated box cars for the pumpkin pie, so yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the Tropicana juice train that CSX used to have running. It used to run through Folkestone, and of course they have it here in game, obviously, but in real life it's now been consolidated into another train, so that's the end of that.
Well, as you can see here, we're speeding down the track at 90 miles an hour now, just tipping over to 90, I would say, but let's go ahead and let's switch into this siding real quick. Here we go. Let's hope none of those cars go flying off the track there. And I think this would be a good point to derail. Let's hope it's dramatic. And there we go. Beautiful. We lost 2 refrigerated cars and the engine. So that is going to do it for this locomotive. And there is one more locomotive that I do want to check out in this episode. Alright, so the final locomotive we're going to be checking out in this episode is the Grainstormer. Why are we checking this out again? Well, this is actually what happened to the Crazy 8 CSX locomotive after CSX decided to remodel it, which was a very risky move to do, especially for a now historic, incident. Which didn't cost any lives. It was actually just a malfunction in the system. Not the mechanical system, but the whole system of the driver leaving the cab while putting it in a certain setting and then the locomotive just having a mind of its own. But
we all know
yeah.
the rest.
Yeah, we all know the rest from the movie Unstoppable, but yeah.
The locomotive is now designated an SD40-3, meaning, I guess, rebuild. Somebody apparently, though, did get the number boards off of Crazy 8's when it was mothballed. And about the Tropicana Juice train, this is the train I've got right now.
Well, I recommend you stop, sir. Sir, I recommend you stop. You probably just tore off all of the railing on the side of my locomotive.
Try most of the cars.
Oh my gosh. There's just gonna be paint streaks and just dents in the side of all of the cars here.
I think actually the train would have derailed, I think.
Wow, wow.
Oh, that matter.
Yeah,
You can just face it.
yeah, that's beautiful. Thanks, Railroad. Thank you.
Alright, I'm just here doing what's called a Stand By Me move. It's totally fine. If you don't know what that movie is or that reference is from, you will have no idea of culture. Anyway, yeah, I think I found a good place for you to derail, sir. Would you meet me at the Roundhouse in
Yes!
51?
Oh, boy.
Congratulations! You failed! Yes, you lost!
Alright, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and comment, and I'll see you all next time, guys. Goodbye.